Hi, I'm Ted.
And I'm Laura. Here we are at 24 Baskerville Crescent, where I grew up, right around Bloor Street and the West Mall. Bloordale, as it used to be called, now it's Markland Woods. We had to do a lot of thinking and made some decisions, decided that we're going to move out west. So we recruited Jonathan to help us sell this house. It's been quite the process selling the house, but it's all gone very smoothly thanks to Jonathan's help. Well, Jonathan is a very proactive realtor, and he left a little flyer in my mailbox. So I liked what I read on his flyer. He seems to be someone who's very community and family oriented, and I discovered he also lives in the neighborhood. I thought, well, that's cool. And one day he also came to the door, so I was able to meet him and got a very good impression, and that's how that started.
Once he dropped off his business card and introduced himself, I decided to check him out, and what I found that was impressive is it had videos for people that are more or less new into real estate and wanted to know how things are handled. And I found that to be kind of refreshing because I could digest it at my own pace, and I didn't have somebody sitting across the table from me trying to sell me. I could do my own review and say, do I like this person? Because that's the main part of selling. You got to like the people you're dealing with.
Be comfortable with them, yeah.
So I looked at that and I thought, well, this guy's, he's younger than us, obviously, but he's promoting himself well because he's making stuff available free on the internet for anybody who's interested in real estate. So I was impressed. Enough to say, let's get him over and let's have a chat with him. Now, we had 3 agents. We had another agent, but they just wanted to say, dump it on the market right now and get rid of it. We wanted to look at others, so we had this paper from Jonathan, and Jonathan came in and said, well, here's another option. Maybe you should just kind of spruce it up and get a budget and spend the budget to spruce it up, and hopefully it'll pay back a lot more than what the first person said. So that's the route we took.
I think the most important thing that made me happy was the fact that he was always reachable and easy to communicate with, and he responded quickly to text messages and calls. That meant a lot. We're very busy and we've got other things going on in our lives, so the fact that we could deal with Jonathan in a prompt and professional manner was very good. He was always very upbeat and optimistic. We felt that he's got a really good handle on dealing with people of all generations. So that was really good, and we really like technology ourselves, so someone who is making use of all the tools out there that are available for marketing. That makes sense to me. That's what I would do if I were in that position, and we noticed that not all realtors take advantage of that, but I think if you're going to market, you need to reach as wide an audience as you can, and I thought Jonathan did that very well, and he also seems to be very knowledgeable about the economy, about what's happening these days with real estate. Specifically this area, of course. He lives here and we're here, but he seems to also be aware of what's going on in the rest of the country. And he was able to help us make wise decisions.
With me, it was a lot of little things. Jonathan would come over even when we're here or even when we're not here to help us out. And one of the things is he'd keep coming by with his little toolkit, and he'd be tightening screws here and adjusting things there. Stuff I wouldn't bother to do. But he was always looking for something that he could add to the to the value of the house. I was impressed with just basically the amount of involvement he had. A lot of real estate agents, because we've sold other places, they sort of like, thank you for your business, and I'll see you when it's sold.
Do the minimum, yeah.
But Jonathan was here all the time, and being in the neighborhood, that's a big deal. He'd take in our mail and he'd look for and put 2 packages together to send to us because we lived remotely, And you know, that's a big thing. You know, when you're looking for checks from banks and trying to close out the estate, you know, there's some things are kind of time sensitive. You don't want them sitting around for two or 3 weeks, because we disappeared after the house was ready for viewing. We didn't come back for a couple of weeks, so there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to keep track of. So he took in the mail. I call him up and say, could you put the garbage cans out? You know, because we left on a Monday or something. The garbage isn't until Wednesday. And he hustled on over and did that. So those are all additives, and those are things that made me happiest about Jonathan. Well, I can't stress enough that he's to us he's like a middle generation, and you know, he can understand us, and I know he's technologically, you know, at the lower end of the scale as well. So I would say anybody would be happy with Jonathan in terms of his capability to service any group of people. But he's just a nice guy, you know. We've got no problems. We enjoyed dealing with him, and I don't know, what more can I say? It's just.
And I think he's also got a really good eye for photography. I was quite impressed with his technological skills. And a few of my friends and family saw the video he did of the property, which looked very professional and really great narrating. Very clear, easy to understand, and they were impressed when they saw that.
I would say if you live anywhere within 20 minutes of where Jonathan lives, this is the guy you want to have as your real estate agent. But I mean, I'm speaking just out of me, but I mean, I don't know how far he's willing to drive to go check people's mail, but you know. But if he's anywhere within a 20-minute drive, I think you got to count on this guy.
We're setting a dangerous precedent here.
Yeah, maybe we are, but isn't that what service is all about? You know, that he'd take 20 minutes to go and check your mail. That's
yeah.
Especially when you know there's stuff that you have to get your hands on.
Yeah.
For part of closing the sale or the investments that are involved.
Yeah. Also, another thing I think I'd like to mention is that we felt that Jonathan was a very good manager, because he had to deal with tradespeople and the people who staged the house, and there was a huge amount of coordination involved with doing that, and we thought he did a wonderful job.
He's got enough experience that he's got a little Rolodex that's got all the people in it that he can call for help.
Good contacts, yeah.
Yeah, we needed
important.
some guys to move some heavy stuff, and
yeah.
Jonathan arranged for this giant to show up, and he grabbed this secretary desk, probably weighed about 80 pounds. He just bear hugged it and said, "Where do you want it?"
Yeah, those little things.
Those are things that help.
Very,
you don't want
important.
to be searching at the last minute for some guy that professes to be good at moving things, and he turns out and he's 85 pounds and 5'1" or something.
Yeah, no, that was great. We got the help we needed.
Yeah.